In this video, we're going to tour two completely different types of estate homes in South Overland Park. The first one, very unique floor plan. It's got a courtyard on the main level, 10-foot ceiling, sunken patio, and it's built by one of the most popular builders in Kansas City, Don Julian. House number two we're going to show you is absolutely beautiful. Side entry garage, cathedral ceiling, loft upstairs, and not just one, but two built-in offices. That one is built by Doyle Construction. Both of these homes are located in South Overland Park. Very popular neighborhood, Terrybrook Farms. Amenities are in. These are some of the final homes that'll be built in the neighborhood, and we'll break that down a little bit more later in the video. Now, before we get started with house number one, if we haven't met yet, my name's Nick.
And I'm Jordan. We help people buy and build homes all across Kansas City. If you have any questions at all, feel free to reach out. Our contact information will be on the screen and in the description below. House number one, this is the Cortland Reverse by Don Julian Builders. It's a reverse 1.5 story that features 4 beds, 4 full baths, 2 half baths, 4,097 square feet, sits on a 0.46 acre lot, priced at just under $1.4 million. The outside of this house is absolutely impressive. You got 4-sided stucco. Nick, this is a side entry garage.
Soffit downlighting, clay tile roof.
Black gutters, and then black windows inside and out, which we absolutely love to see. I love how they have the dry stack stone.
And then this whole sidewalk, because it's a side entry, it wraps around the house. So if you have guests over, it creates that anticipation factor where once you get to the front of the house, Jordan, look at what we're seeing.
Yeah, so I love the columns, you know, dry stack stone all the way up, and then a really nice size front porch. Come on in here, Nick.
All right, Jordan, this is an exciting one.
Oh, it's absolutely beautiful.
A few months ago, we showed the Cortland Reverse in Bristol Highlands, which is in Lenexa and Shawnee, Kansas. But we're showing you this one in Terrybrook Farms in Overland Park, because they've taken it to a whole new level. Quite literally, we'll see that in the lower level downstairs. But Jordan, as always, we're gonna put the floor plan on the screen. This plan, really, really unique.
Yeah, very unique for a reverse. So you do have a dedicated study in the front of the home here, but then you also have a secondary guest suite and the master bedroom tucked behind the kitchen for complete privacy. Every bedroom has its own ensuite bath, and there's also a half bath upstairs and a half bath downstairs for all the guests to use.
So this house is absolutely loaded. And in addition to that, we've got the courtyard to our left, and we've got the wet bar to our right, all off the entry. So why do we start here, Jordan?
Yeah, beautiful entry, nice and wide. You've got the French doors. I love the glass in the windows, especially that it's textured, so it creates that privacy, but you get all the light. And then
you'll see those gold fixtures as we go throughout the house, and some pretty, I would call, exotic countertops that we've never seen before. But look at this moody color in the office.
Yeah, beautiful color. I love how they bullnose the corners on the walls. They kicked out that wall there around the windows, creates a little more depth in the room. Really, really nice.
And then hopefully it shows up on camera. This flamingo, do you see? This actually lights up. There's a neon light around it, which is really cool. But the bread and butter of this plan is you've got the courtyard right here, ton of extra windows, you've got the outdoor living space, and just makes everything nice, bright, and open. But we're gonna start with the wet bar before we actually go into the courtyard.
Yeah, so right across from the courtyard, you can start entertaining guests right here. Beautiful wet bar. I love these countertops. You think those are granite, Nick?
My bet's on granite. These are obviously a natural stone. You can feel some of the webbing down below, but I mean, this is just the start of what you're gonna see in the kitchen, the master, the lower level wet bar.
I love the dark blue finish on the cabinets. You've got the upgraded hinges and then that whitewash brick.
Really good look.
Very
and you've got the lights everywhere. You're gonna see that throughout the house too. But as we turn around, it's right across from the courtyard here. And Jordan, what I love about the courtyard is they always do this fountain, this little waterfall here. Makes it really nice. You've also got a spigot right there for a hose. And then I'm sure there's a drain in the floor under the block of ice.
Yep.
As we're still recovering from the blizzard a couple weeks ago.
So I love the pergola, offers some shade. It's really unique and great place to entertain and relax.
All right, coming into the living room, Jordan, what I've seen them do in a lot of these Cortlands, The beams, it frames out the vaulted ceiling.
Yeah, absolutely beautiful. I love the stain color, matches the mantle and the engineered hardwoods. And you know we love stacked stone fireplace, floor to ceiling, really, really nice.
I like that you get these, you know, this house already has a ton of windows throughout, but you get these two transom-like windows up top. And then I also want to point out, we'll get to in a second, the transom above the door to the covered patio, which we haven't seen anybody do that yet. It just gets you even more light in here.
Yep, very cool. And you can't, I don't think you can have too many windows either.
Well, you can have too many windows.
You think so?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if they're in the wrong spot, right?
That's right. But really, the hallmark feature of this plan is not just the courtyard off the entry, it's the two-tiered island. Look at this.
Yep, absolutely huge island. This countertop is very, very unique. I don't think I've ever seen one like it. Very beautiful. I mean, those kind of brown colors almost looks like rust or something like that. I think it's cool.
Now, if you're watching this, you might be wondering, well, why is one of the countertops stacked above the other one? And I believe the reason for it is it gives you this nice finished edge. But if these were level, you'd have a seam down the middle. So this is a really easy way to hide that seam, makes it look really, really nice. And of course, we mentioned the gold fixtures you'll see throughout the house. But really, Jordan, love the contrast between the blue island, the white perimeter cabinets, and then the navy blue hood.
Yep, it's very, very pretty. I love how they did the herringbone tile here on the backsplash. You think that's marble, Nick?
I think it's marble.
Okay, well,
I think so.
It's a very, very nice look.
I want to point out you've got two ovens. So you've got the 5-burner range. Jordan, microwave is right behind you. And then if we turn to the buffet bar you mentioned, we've got our second oven. And then look at this. I love the glass panels here. And you've even got some decorative kind of accents in the glass.
And if you work your way over here, you've got this beautiful pantry, tons of storage space. And
yeah,
I know...
Let's get a look at the door here.
Yeah, I know you love this door, Nick.
Really cool. Now you do have a ton of perimeter space in the kitchen already. So if you built this, I know a lot of you are looking for a butler's bar prep area in the pantry. As of right now, this all just has storage. But the nice thing is you've got all of the countertop space in the kitchen. And Jordan, this dining area, ton of light. I think if you stand in front of the door, you're going to be borderline blinded by the light.
Yeah, the light is definitely shining in this morning. So beautiful size dining room here, plenty big. This is like an 8-seater table. I love the wall of windows. And the other thing I like too, Nick, I like how they took this wall, just the design, and cornered it off so you don't have a 90-degree angle.
Right. Now this covered patio, it's huge. And as we talked about in the intro, you've got 3 tiers of outdoor living here. You got the courtyard that we already saw off the main floor. You've got this patio, and you've got a sunken patio off of the lower level. But ceiling height, it's there. You've got recessed lights up top, and you can see those black windows. And I think this table, even though it's staging furniture, even though it's usually smaller than what you might be putting into a home, ton of space here.
Yep, you could go bigger if you wanted to, and then you still have enough room for your grills, which is much needed.
Now heading back inside, we're going to take a look at the mudroom, the garage entry, and that is also where we'll find the first secondary bedroom. So you've got this separate hallway. It keeps it nice and private. The boot bench back here with the shiplap. You've got the cubbies on the left. And I love, Jordan, that they did the stained top on that bench.
Yep, very nice. It's a lot nicer than just paint. The stain's going to last a lot longer, and it creates a contrast as well.
That's right. So we've got our coat closet right here.
Yep. 8-foot tall doors.
Which, keep in mind, they're going to turn this into a model. So that's what you're seeing in there. And then, yeah, the 8-foot doors make a huge difference. Now, this is the first secondary bedroom. You can see the view. It overlooks the front porch, which I know a lot of you are looking for. You got the casement windows, surface mount dome light, which is nice and modern. And then if we turn around, you've got the closet. And we mentioned, and this is a true walk-in closet, we mentioned that each of these bedrooms has a private bath. And Jordan, this tile, oh my goodness.
Oh, that's a unique pattern there. What would you call that?
I don't have a word for that one. I really don't.
All right, so when we head back down the hallway here, you do have the laundry room here, but we'll get to that in a minute once we get through the master bedroom.
Now, this is an important moment in the house. Jordan, you mentioned it earlier, staircases tucked behind everything. And I like the volume you get back here in what would otherwise be maybe just a hallway. So they've trimmed it out. You've got the big
Huge window.
And then I know you're a big fan. We'll get to it here in a second. You're a big fan of those spindles.
Yeah, I do like the wrought iron spindles. And that's a very light white oak color on this railing, but I like it.
That's right.
It really flows well. So this is going to be the half bath that services the main floor. And moody color, they did it on the ceiling, and then they also did the modern crown molding.
That is impressive in a secondary bathroom. And then Jordan, this light fixture, that is something. And then you've got the sink on top of the vanity. But turning around, we've got the master, and it's a full dip, that moody blue color we've been seeing throughout the house.
Yeah, and you have the beams as well. Absolutely beautiful. And I love this wall of windows here, Nick. You got the huge picture window in the middle, casement windows on the side, and then the trim work. It's very, very nice.
Really good look. But Jordan, I know in a lot of the master baths nowadays, we tend to see French doors. These have been taken to a whole new level. You've got the exposed hardware French farm doors here, or barn doors, and then this bathroom is just huge.
Yeah, it is absolutely beautiful. So starting here, you've got the freestanding tub, trim all the way around. You do have the transom window to let in that light, but you still get the privacy.
And then I'm a big fan of how they do this alcove in here. Those light fixtures, they just pop right off the towers. And I believe it's similar, but this top, this vanity top, is just a little bit different than the one we saw in the kitchen. This could be a quartzite. I'm feeling some webbing. It's definitely a natural surface.
It's a good looking top. Now I love how they did the shower here, Nick, and they did the wall halfway up. They've got it trimmed around.
So the reason they do this is because you probably got I haven't looked, you probably got a bench inside. But the nice thing about this is there's less glass for you to clean, which I know that's not the most fun thing in the world, but you got this nice kind of designer accent with the herringbone stone up there, the gold fixtures, and then wrapping around the corner, we've got that bench, which we mentioned.
And then you have the water closet here to my right, and huge master closet. Tons of hanging space. I'm gonna need the pull downs, Nick. I can't reach that high.
No. Okay, well, submit an offer. We'll see what we can do here. But it might be a little bit of time before this one's for sale. You've got the nice window in here, and then of course the cubbies going all the way up. The last part of the main floor, Jordan, is the laundry room.
Laundry room. They did another moody color in here. I really like it. I like the hex tile. So you do have countertop space for folding your clothes and
or a printer
workstation.
If you need a printer in the laundry room, you can do that too.
You've got all the built-in cabinets, and then you do have hangers above where the washer and dryers would go.
No, so far, the biggest difference between this Cortland and the one we did a few months ago has been, Jordan, I think the level of finishes, some of the tops, the light fixtures, really the exterior. But in the lower level, this is where we start to see a lot of the differences come to life. So in the previous Cortland we did, this was the exit into the mid-level walkout. This is a full walk-up, walk-out house, and we'll kind of, it's a mouthful. We'll explain what that means in a second, but I love the hardwood landing there. And then I know you always comment on the high tread carpet. This is a really good pattern. I'm a big fan.
It's very thick. It's got a good feel to it.
Now, the first thing, these are 10-foot ceilings. Most of the basements we see, especially at this price point, they're typically around 9 feet. That extra foot, it makes a huge difference in how this feels.
Yep, a lot more space, and then you've got the 8-foot doors down here too.
The 8-foot doors in the lower level, you know, usually when you see the really tall doors, it's just the main level, so to see them down here is really impressive. Before we get to the second wet bar, we've got the rec room. I like that you've got this soffit, kind of creates a little bit of separation here, but Presumably this is where the TV would go. You've got the nice seating surrounding it. And then Jordan, if you pan to your right here, you've got the sitting area. You can see the sunken patio, and they even have stairs going all the way up right around that courtyard we saw in the entry of the house. But we're going to turn our attention to the wet bar because this, I mean, there's a ton to unpack here. So why don't we start with the ceiling?
Yep, beautiful accent ceiling here. I don't know if that's tongue and groove or not.
Yeah, tongue and groove. It's got like a chevron lay to it that meets in the middle, but I love the texture of it. And then you can see you've got this mirror that's kind of got the diagonal cuts. It kind of goes well with those angles. This slab, I love the look of it. This is just a larger version of what we saw in the wet bar off the entry upstairs. And Jordan, the other thing is if you keep backing up a little bit, you'll notice the lighting here. You got a nice curve to the island, but the key thing is they did the sink on the perimeter, not the island, which gets you a little bit more space here, makes it nice and clean. Of course, we've got the navy blue color again and a ton of storage right there.
Yep, same colors we saw upstairs. It's just, man, this thing is absolutely beautiful.
Now, before we get to the sunken patio, a couple of things to note is one, you've got a dedicated half bath for guests. So if you take a look in there.
Yep, so got the engineered hardwoods down here. Beautiful top. This is the same that we've seen throughout the house.
And then coming back around the corner, you've got 2 additional secondary bedrooms, each with their separate private baths. But and a lot of you ask about this. You've got the storage under the stairs. It wraps all the way around there. And here is our first secondary bedroom down here.
Super tall ceilings. We just don't see this in the lower level. And I love how they did the casement windows down here as well. And then huge concrete egress.
That's right. So you can get a look of the full bath. I love the same deal. You've got the kind of navy blue tone on the cabinets, quartz top, and then if you go all the way back, Jordan, sliding shower door with a bench inside.
Oh, very nice. I love seeing benches in the shower, man. Just a place to sit down and relax.
And then these closets are huge for a secondary bedroom.
Yes, they are.
Especially in the lower level. And bedroom number 2 downstairs, similar kind of deal. So we'll go a little bit quicker through this. You've got the taller ceilings, the casement windows, and then around to your left, we've got the full bath. Love the herringbone tile there.
Yep, very nice. Same color vanity as what we saw in the last bathroom. I really like the glaze on that tile floor. And then you have the black frame shower.
All right, now the last part of the tour. This is what makes this specific home that much different from the other Cortland we showed you not too long ago. You've got this full wall of windows in the lower level. And because this is like a daylight, almost like a flat lot, they did the sunken patio, which Jordan, I've become a really big fan of these. I might even prefer this over a true walkout.
Yeah, Nick absolutely loves these. I think it's one of his favorites.
It is. Heavy, heavy doors.
They are heavy.
And
double
then,
sliders.
The nice thing about the sunken patio is you get a ton of privacy because you've got the walls around. They stuccoed these. You've got a drain in the floor. So all this snow, once it melts, hopefully soon, no, you're not having to pull water out of here. And then Jordan, if you turn the corner, you'll see the stairs going all the way up to the backyard. And then they even did additional landscaping there, which is just icing on top of the cake. Now, before we hop around the corner to house number 2, you're going to want to see it, estate-sized home, side entry garage, exotic ceiling, just really impressive ceiling in the great room. But before we show it to you, a little bit about the builder and also a little bit about the community. This plan, it's built by Don Julian Builders, one of the most popular builders you'll find around Kansas City. They're not just in Johnson County. I've seen them north of the river. I've seen them in various parts of Missouri. And they just bring a level of finishes and a level of design that is really, really impressive, just like this one. But they've been building for over 50 years, and they also happen to be the developer here at Terrybrook Farms.
Yep, Terrybrook Farms, this community's been around for a long time. It's Don Julian and Rod Rock community. Been around for like 15 years. There's only a handful of lots left to choose from, and there's Only a handful of specs left as well.
The nice thing about this community, amenities are already in. So if you don't want to be in a community that's like at ground floor and have to wait on amenities, this would be one of the best choices. You're seeing drone footage. They've got a beautiful pool. They've got a fitness center in the clubhouse and plenty of trails throughout the neighborhood. But Jordan, the nice part of this one, it's not just estate-sized homes like we're showing in this video. They actually have quite a few manors.
Yep, they also have the manors, which is going to be their maintenance-provided villas. Those are about $250 a month, and you're going to get lawn care, you're going to get snow removal, and trash and recycling.
That's right. So HOA is pretty competitive. We'll put them on the screen for both the villas as well as the estates. And we're going to head over to house number 2. We've got the Elswood by Doyle Construction. It's a 1.5 story with a very unique plan. It checks a lot of boxes, 5 beds, 5 baths, 4,000 square feet above ground, not including a basement that could be finished. It's on a half-acre lot. It's priced at $1.449 million. Now, Jordan, I think one of the biggest things about this elevation is it's a partial side entry.
Yep, absolutely beautiful. So you have the side entry for the 2-car, and the single car does face the front.
We'll show you what that looks like here a little bit later on in this part of the tour, but trim applied garage doors. Straight ahead to the left of that single car, you've got a separate entry into the house, at least the boot bench. And then I love that you've got the trim cased opening around the garage.
That's a very nice touch. I just noticed that as we're walking up here.
Now, architectural shingles on the roof. You got some very traditional but kind of modern light fixtures on the outside. You'll see them on the inside. I love the standing seam metal roof overhang here.
That's one of my favorite touches. And the other thing they did here too is lap siding with board and batten.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
Very, very nice.
Well, the other nice thing about this being a side entry is you get this longer private sidewalk to the front of the house. You got a nice big porch, and we can't forget about the black windows that are black on the inside and the outside. All right, Jordan, come on in.
All right, Nick, man, we have been waiting months to show this home. It's still not completely finished. They've got some touch-ups to do.
And we wanted to give you a sneak peek. So mirrors aren't up. You'll see some things throughout the house, but I think this one will go very quickly, and that's because this is a very unique plan. And you'll see it on the screen, a couple small differences as you go throughout the house, but what I love about this one is it has a lot of different things you might be looking for, all with a very traditional and modern feel. So starting with the entry, we've got this single door. We don't have French doors, which is okay in this house because look at all these windows, black on the outside, black on the inside. You've got the mutton bars. Jordan, look at that light fixture.
Yeah, beautiful light fixture. It's got a very classic look to it. It really flows well with this home, and we're going to see touches like that throughout. I love also in this foyer, you get the 2-story ceilings. And you mentioned the door, 8-foot tall door.
That's right. And they've tucked this stairwell on this side of the house. Super traditional. I love that these were probably site installed, site welded. We just never see this anymore. And then of course you've got the block applied trim up the top. And we'll get to this here later on, but you've got hardwood treads, which I can't tell you the last time we saw these. It's almost always carpet. So with all of that said, we're going to kind of pivot this way. This is the formal dining room. And the reason it's unique to see this in a 1.5 story is because since you usually have that master on the main floor, you've got the breakfast nook off of the island and the kitchen, we almost never see the true dining room in a 1.5 story. And look at all of this trim, the accents on the ceiling.
I love the moody color and how they took it to the ceiling as well. And then the beams, they match the floor. It's very, very pretty.
That's right. Now the light fixtures throughout this house, I thought were just incredible. You've got the nice gold touches. They're classy. And then you've got this bump out right here. And I like that they did the outlet in the baseboard instead of on the wall.
Yep, you can't even see it, just blends right in.
Now, the kind of hallmark feature of this one, we've done quite a few different Doyle houses recently. Their trim work, their accent walls, some of their designs, I think are really, really hard to beat. And this is just incredible. I mean, we saw pictures of this when it was under construction and you couldn't really see what it would look like, but the beams, you've got the cathedral ceiling there with the vault, and then of course, very kind of traditional light fixture in the middle. Just a great focal point. And Jordan, I love some of the touches over here too. You've got the 3D tile is really popping off the wall.
Yep, it adds that texture, which really coincides with these fluted doors.
That's right.
In the built-ins.
So custom cabinet doors. I mean, the texture on this is incredible. And then you've got the paneling that goes all the way up to the ceiling.
Yeah, that's a very nice touch. And you know what I love, Nick? I love these doors.
All right, let's do it. Let's do it now. One thing I want to point out before we do it, you've got the windows up top, and then if you can see through those windows, you've also got windows on the exterior of the covered patio as well, which is incredible. But black doors inside and out, these are nice and heavy. And here we are. Usually takes me a couple tries to get these open, but.
And those are very heavy doors too, aren't they, Nick?
That's right. So love the exterior fireplace. But
I love the brick.
Yeah, absolutely. And then if you kind of rotate this way, Jordan, look at these light fixtures here.
Oh yeah, very nice. It's got the classic look. I mean, it's kind of what we've been seeing throughout this home. It's very nice.
It's not just the front elevation of the house. We'll actually put a drone shot on the screen here that shows you the rear elevation. This one is just beautiful. You can see those windows up top, all of the beams. And then of course, we've got another slider right off of the breakfast nook.
I love how they're 8-foot sliders. This one is a double slider, so you can open that up and really have two entertaining spaces in the springtime with the living room and the outdoor patio.
Absolutely. Now, when Jordan and I walked through before we started filming, we looked at this island and we were just bewildered that they could get a slab this big without any cuts in it. So you've got storage on that side, but this is one of the longest islands that I think we've ever seen.
That's
here.
at least a foot or two longer than what we normally see.
Absolutely. So again, we mentioned the light fixtures. You're going to see some unique ones. I like the custom hood, but Jordan, I know what sticks out to you the most is this backsplash.
Yep, I really like the tile on the backsplash here, and if you notice these rounded edges there in the tile, it actually flows with that range hood. I just find it unique.
Yeah, a lot of texture. And then of course, we've got the decorative glass panel, kind of pantry style cabinet here. But we almost never see this right here. A traditional breakfast nook with the banquet seating. Of course, they're still working on this, but you do have storage below, which is really nice. And if you can imagine like a circle table right here, that's a really nice setup.
Yeah, very, very cool. I wonder, I bet you Doyle, they could probably build a built-in table as well.
Yeah, a little foreshadowing. We'll show you some built-ins here in just a second, but I like that you've got the 5-burner gas range. You've got this stacked microwave and oven. And then Jordan, if you swing around this way, one thing that we've got to point out is you've got this apron sink. It's like almost like ceramic. It's got a nice texture to it. We just don't typically see stuff like that.
It's a very nice look. So the farmhouse sink that hangs over the front, and I like how they have the lines,
grooves,
the grooves
in, them, right?
in it. Yeah.
This is a little tight, but you do have a pantry. You've got a full-on kind of prep area in there.
Yeah, full butler's pantry. Very, very nice. I love the cabinets. It's a beautiful countertop.
It is.
And they also did the farmhouse sink in here. That's very, very neat.
But floating shelves, I love the enamel color. And then look at that light fixture up top.
Yep, very cool.
Now, as you saw in the elevation, this house has a 3-car garage, but they are split. So it's 2 + 1. And that sets you up for a very interesting entry. So first off, we've got, and we've seen this before, that they tend to do the lockers instead of a boot bench with a big old bench. This hides all of the coats, the scarves, everything that it might have in there. But you've also got the 2-car bay right here.
So this is the 2-car garage, and the windows there you see, those are gonna face the front of the home. It just makes it for a very nice look from the curb.
That's right. And I'll get out of your way, Jordan. We've got the side entry. So this is a formal entry into the house.
From the driveway between both garages.
Mm-hmm. And then we've got a comment on the block trim. Again, very traditional features. And we've seen a lot of very nice trim work from Doyle in the past. We've done a couple different videos where they are just some of the best on the market at it. Now, on the plan, we'll touch on this real quick. this was a laundry room that's now been converted to like a utility room, an office. You got the built-in desk, the floating shelves. Really, really impressive. And it's not the only office in this part of the house, I'll tell you that. Garage number 2. This is your single car bay. You notice garage door openers are already installed. But what's nice about this one, Jordan, is if you pan to the left, you've got an exit from the garage into the backyard, which I know a lot of you are looking for. Of course, we got to point out the hall closet. It's just a hall closet, but very well placed. And then before we show you the bathroom, this is the formal office, and they've done some beautiful built-ins here. You've got the paneling like we saw in the great room, and I love the accent and the contrast here.
The two-tone is very, very nice. I like that moody color. I really like the lightness of these cabinets too.
I do too. Yeah, take a look at that light fixture, very modern. And then we also have a very nice looking door.
Yep, I love the glass for the office and the grid.
Yep, the glass panel has a really nice look to it. And then if we swing around here, we're still working on the mirrors here, so those will probably be up in the next week or so. But I love the vanity. You've got the Taj Mahal quartzite, so it's a natural stone. This is one of the most expensive slabs that you could get. It's one of the highest priced tiers. And then around the corner, you've got the shower, and it's got a bench in there as well.
Yep, very nice bench. I love how they did it with a countertop style with a slab versus doing the tile, and very pretty. They also did the wall-mounted faucet, which is very neat. Where'd you go, Nick?
Next up, we're going to take a look at the kind of stairwell as well as the master suite. What I love about this is you had the built-in kind of office that was previously a laundry room, and then you've got the formal office slash secondary bedroom on one wing of the house. And they're tucked behind the kitchen, behind the garages. Over here, we've got the master suite. So you've got that separation and the privacy. And this one is just really impressive. So Jordan, if you stop right there for us, we saw the breakfast nook kind of banquet seating. And they've carried the same theme in here, right? So you've got the recessed portion of the master. You've got the bench seating. You've got storage underneath. And then if you look at the ceiling, almost like a double box vault, and these are the same types of beams that we saw in the formal dining room.
And then the light fixture. It really matches what we've seen throughout the house.
That's right.
It's very pretty. And then you do have the accent wall with the trim.
Oh, you know what? Give me 1 second, Jordan. Look at that. So here, let me do that one more time. So these are reading lights. They've got independent switches. Look at that. That's so cool.
Very cool.
And then a couple more things we want to point out here. The carpet, I've never seen it before. I think it's got a great look to it. It goes really well with all the other accents in the master. But coming into the bathroom, I think they did this really well too. So you got the extra wide vanity. These are some like designers. These are really unique. We don't see these all the time. And I love the slim profile on the mirror there. But if you show the water closet real quick, it's actually got quite a bit of space in there. Oh,
wow. Yeah, this is a huge water closet.
And then to your right, we've got the freestanding tub, casement windows, black inside, the mutton bars, of quite the modern light fixture there. And then pretty spacious master shower.
You've got dual shower heads, you have the built-in niche. Oh, and then there's a wand. And then I love the built-in bench that's made out of a slab.
And that's a huge slab. If you back up a little bit, that is a huge slab to put as on top of a bench in a master shower. But kind of swinging around this way, we've got a ton of storage. You've got the valet rods that pull down. And then we mentioned that the laundry room used to be on the other side of the house. And it looks like what they've done here is you've got a stackable. So stackable washer dryer for convenience. That way you don't have to go across the house and you get a bonus office over there instead.
Yep, beautiful built-ins as well. And this, normally we would not see a slab like this in the laundry room.
Right, right. Now, If you're wondering, well, what about the bedrooms upstairs? We're going to show those to you in a second, but they also have a separate laundry closet up there as well. So there's no carrying laundry all across the house. I like that audible that was called. That was a really good move. Now, before we head upstairs and show you the rest of the finishes inside the house, just a little bit about the builder, Doyle Construction. They've got some of the best designs, accents, carpentry work that we've seen on the market here for new homes in Kansas City. And if you want a couple other examples, we recently did 2 tours of their other homes. So the Hudson in Southern Meadows, Overland Park, and then we also did the Jacobson Reverse in Chapel Hill, which was just stunning. Some of the most unique accent walls that we've never seen before, but they've been in business for quite a while now.
Yeah, Doyle Construction, they've been around since the late 70s. It's a family business, and they primarily build in Johnson County, Overland Park, and Olathe. They don't build a ton of homes a year, about 15 homes, but they're high quality, good homes. And the price ranges are anywhere from the mid fives all the way up to 1.4 million, like this home we're in. All right, now it's time to see the upstairs of this home. And one thing Nick pointed out earlier, beautiful stair treads in the stairwell. We don't see that very often. And I'm just so impressed by the handrails, Nick. I mean, they are custom built inside this home. And then take a look at the trim work.
I know, the block trim, and then I love the windows. There are a ton of windows in this entry, and I like that you've got the side lights there, very traditional look as well. But just to see hardwood treads, you've got the hardwood landing, and then you've got like the custom site installed rail. I mean, this house is so impressive. And then Jordan, upstairs, we've got a step up loft as well.
So loft right up here as you get to the top. Now, we have those cathedral ceilings, we have the loft, you just don't see that very often in 1.5 story homes.
And this is like a whole media center. They've built the console into the wall there. You've got outlets galore, TV outlet up top, really nice.
And look how many recessed lights in here.
It is a lot of recessed lights.
So
now, what I like is you get this long traditional hallway. A couple benefits of it. One is you get these cased openings right here, which is the catwalk. It's so unique. We almost never see it.
Yeah, beautiful view down to the living area.
Love that. The cathedral ceiling. We weren't sure how it was going to turn out when it was finished. We saw some pictures, but this is just incredible to see.
It's hard to tell without the paint and the beams and everything installed. So bedroom number 1, you've got the updated carpet, which we like to see, casement windows, you've got the ceiling fan and recessed lights all the way around. And each one of these bedrooms, Nick, if you could swing around here, has their own ensuite bath.
Yes, that's a very important note. So you get the extra wide vanity in here, the kind of accent, the different enamel color. And then I like that they did the herringbone on the shower. It costs a little extra to lay the tile that way, but it really creates some texture. The other thing is a lot of these bedrooms up here have the closet in the bathroom. So the reason that matters is when you're trying to figure out where to situate the bed, you don't have to worry about another door opening. So it just gives you more options, more flexibility. And here's bedroom number 2 around the corner, but first.
So you have the upstairs furnace behind this door here, and then your laundry hall closet for all of these bedrooms.
Which this is pretty deep for a laundry closet. I know it's hard to tell on video, but you've got the drain in there, nice and convenient. You're not bringing laundry upstairs, downstairs, and everywhere in between.
Yep. So bedroom number 2 upstairs, you do have the ensuite bath. It's got the extra wide vanity like the previous bedroom.
Wow, we've got a tower in there. This is a very long private bath for a secondary.
And they took that tile all the way to the ceiling. They've got the brick lay pattern. It's very nice. I love the casement windows, and then big walk-in closet here.
These are really big secondary bedrooms overall. Very impressive.
Now bedroom number 3, we got more hall to walk down, which really creates...
Sorry, I definitely left those at home. I was setting you up for failure with that one.
Yeah. So you have all this hallway, which really gives each bedroom a ton of privacy, which is really nice.
Here, I'm going to stop here for a second. We got Another cased
I
opening.
just skipped right over it, didn't I?
I know. I know. It's almost like the Madison 2 with the Juliet balcony, but you don't have that overhang. I like the trimmed and stained accent, the casing around. But we got another barn vaulted ceiling here.
Little vault on each side of this room, casement windows throughout this home, and then the walk-in closet is inside the access through the bathroom on this one as well.
That's the mirror right there that they'll install at some point. And then we've got the vanity. Turning around, we've got a bench, and I think all of the showers had a bench in them. Wow, that is very impressive. Now, final part of the video, we promised in the intro we'd break down our favorite parts of both of these plans, but we'd love to hear yours as well. So let us know which of the two homes in this video stood out to you and what was your favorite feature in each of them. Jordan, I want to hear what you've got on both of these.
All right, so for the Cortland, I'm not going to go with the obvious and go with the courtyard, although I think that's very, very cool. I'm going to go with the fact that they took the master bedroom, the stairwell, and that secondary bedroom on the main floor and tucked it all behind the kitchen on that one side of the house. Just creates a ton of privacy, and it really just makes it it's already an entertainer's house, and it just keeps it that way by keeping the bedrooms separated.
Keeps it really private. So in that one, I gotta say my favorite part, I think the plan is phenomenal. You get the separate office, you get the additional secondary bedroom on the main floor, but the 10-foot ceilings in the lower level really change how it feels. You have the sunken patio down there, and it might not seem like a big difference on video, but in the house itself, it doesn't feel like a basement at all for those reasons. But in this house, what was the favorite feature?
So with the Elswood here, there's so many great things about it. It's kind of hard to pick one little thing, but I'm just going to go with the floor plan again. I like how the office is tucked behind the kitchen. You've got the side entry garage, and then the single car that faces the front, and those have their own separate entrances as well.
All right. Well, I know this one's tough. It checks so many boxes, like formal dining room and a 1.5 story. The design of this one I thought was really impressed. The breakfast nook seating. You have 2 offices. I mean, they did a lot of things right in this one, but we've got to mention the cathedral ceiling. It's unique, it's bold. It was definitely a risk to take on as the builder because we just don't see anything like this. And I think they did a really, really good job. I mean, you've got the beams up there, it creates a lot of volume, and it really just defines the entire main floor of this house. So once again, let us know your favorite things in both of these down in the comments below. And we owe a big thank you to both the builders and the listing agents.
Yep, Doyle Construction, Don Julian, and the listing agents, Natalie and Michelle, for allowing us to show these homes.
Now, Terrybrook has a ton of other specs coming online, nearing completion in the next 6 months or so. Some of them are a few months out. Some of them are just, less than a month out like this one. So feel free, reach out. Any questions buying, building a new construction home in Kansas City. We'd absolutely love to set you up with some of the best builders, floor plans, communities, and lots around town. So give us a phone call, text message, email, and we'd love to hear from you. With that said, we've got one video on the screen. This is our full playlist of all the different property tours. And then this is the one YouTube thinks you'd enjoy the most. So click there or here, and we'll see you on the other side.